We are here. This is our first pop-up podcast. Yes. So if you haven't tapped in, make sure you check us out. CNC with the crew, conversations and cocktails with the crew. So y'all better check in. This is what's season 4?
Season 4, episode 22.
Yeah, we started out in the living room, outside, wherever we could do it. But we upgraded. We podcast studio. Now we at a venue, coming to a venue near you. So we're excited about our first pop-up podcast. Yes. Shout out to the managers, the bartender, Juan, for helping us get this situated. Juan, people have been talking. Shout out to the owner, Keith. And of course, we got to shout out our sponsor, C Balance. If you get into sea moss and that's your thing, on the health and wellness tip, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, C Balance. And they're into the sea moss health and wellness. So check them out if you haven't. They're on Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms.
Yes, and make sure y'all follow us too.
Of course.
CNC with the crew. We're not Candy in the crew. Unless we show up as an R&B group thinking we're Candy in the crew. But it's CNC with the crew. Conversations and cocktails with the crew. That's who we are. So we are a group of young ladies. Yes, we're still young. Still popping.
Thundercats in the house.
But we've been friends for over like 30 plus years, man.
You're aging me. Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's okay. But we have a strong friendship. We're a tribe of sisters that love to hang out, love to party, love to have a good time. And then as we do that, we always have these intriguing conversations. And we talk about everything. Like everything.
And I look forward to them at therapy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking for the therapy tonight too.
So it's not about us today, y'all. It's not. Y'all already heard our point of view. If you didn't, go back to Facebook and listen to the replay where we talk about gender roles from a female point of view. But today we got these fine ass men up here.
Let's hear for the fine, strong black fine brothers. Look, shout out to all the strong fine brothers in the building tonight. And the one over there looking like he ain't paying attention. You, with the hat on. Look at him. Let's see these fine. I'll pick on them later. Okay. But look, shout out to the guys, fellas. We thank y'all for loving us.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's about y'all. Y'all giving us y'all point of view about gender roles, and I'm ready. I'm excited to hear what y'all got to say from different perspectives of different walks of life. So let's go. I'll go ahead and I'm start introducing myself. I'm Shar Davis. Instagram is Shar_Goddess10. Come check me out. Follow me.
Yes, I'm Toshiba. I changed my name over to El Maxi because I'm interviewing for different jobs. So we had to switch it up a little bit. But I'm Toshiba El Maxi on social media platform. I just love life, entrepreneur, baby mother, just a counselor by career, just love what I do.
Hello everyone, I am Zara Williams. My social media handle will be Zara Williams, the agent. I am a wife of 22 years, a mother of 2.
Wait, back up, sister.
I am a wife of 22 years and a mother of 2. I think that's my biggest accomplishment. All right.
Hello everyone, I'm Urquita Ford, but I go by Dee Dee. You can follow me on Instagram at DeeDee_KK77. I am also a professional woman, a mother of 2, and an entrepreneur as well.
Short and sweet. My name is Anika. IG handle Anika MC.
Alright, so let's introduce these fine ass men.
That part.
It ain't about us. So, first, I have the pleasure to introduce y'all to Sid.
Give it up.
Right. Yeah. Do y'all see who this is? Look.
Sid some love. Show Sid some love. Yes.
So, the pleasure of meeting Sid, I met him at Lifestyle Honors events, which was a 5-day series, a 5-day event by Molly Bigelow. Shout out to her. It was an amazing event. we were able to network and connect with some people. And so that's where I met Sid. And instantly, it was just, like, I was attracted to what he was saying. Like, he's so deep, he's so thought-provoking. I was like, I want to hear more. We need him on our panel. So I'm so ready to introduce y'all to Sid.
I'm Sid. How y'all doing? I'm fine. By day, I'm a business consultant and HR executive, but at all times, I like to consider myself being in the business of connecting people to people and with resources.
Amen.
I can be followed on IG or the with 2 E's, Thee, Sid Jackson, and it's a pleasure, and I hope you all enjoy the conversation.
I have the pleasure of introducing Donovan West. I also met him at Maui's event, the Lifestyle Honors. Donovan, aka the Hitchmaster, is a radio personality, relationship coach. You can check him out on IG on the relationship script, where he hosts an IG live every Wednesday called Wednesdays with West, where he's talking about life, relationships, and everything in between. Donovan.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Everybody all right? Those that are watching this on the social media platforms, thank you for joining us. My name is Donovan West, and thank you so much for the introduction. As she mentioned, I'm the Hitchmaster. I'm not about targeting a particular individual. I'm about targeting you, working on you. So that's what I do in my space. I'm also a business advisor, business consultant. I look forward to serving and making sure that this conversation is relative to what the ladies have to ask us, so that we can make sure that whatever they ask us, they can actually also be accountable for listening to when we give those answers, fellas, right? And then whatever they hear, they will then learn, and whatever they learn, they can then apply, and we can all be better. Yeah, let's go, let's get it.
Okay, so I have the pleasure of introducing our hometown friends of 20, 30 plus years as well. I call them the twins, but they are Jermaine and Jamal Hall. They are also business owners in their own right, fashion gods. They come with it. Every time you see them, they're going to step out and let you know, hey, you know us, I am boy twin, I am twin boy. So let me introduce you to Jermaine and Jamal Hall.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good. So I am a operations director by day and a business owner by day as well. My IG handle is I am_twinboy. That's TWINBOI. And I look forward to this conversation today. All right, brothers.
I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody. I work in the private sector, so I'm just leave it at that, and I'm just going to chime in when I need to.
All right, I have the pleasure of introducing our final panelist, Mr. Shadrach Kwawi. Yes, Shadrach is also from our hometown, and we actually graduated from high school together. Look, class of '94, Monroe High, Albany, Georgia. Yes, yes, I had to plug. Don't hate me. See, all of my friends went to the rivalry high school, so they hating a little bit, but it's all good. But Shadrach is an awesome father, he's an educator, and I'll let him tell you a little bit more.
Peace and love, family. We're going to get this party started like this. You can reach me on Instagram at Noble Soul Man. That's it. That's all I have to say right now. I can't wait till this conversation gets started because I have some bullets for your stomach. Oh, shout out to the bros too. Yo!
All right, let's do it. All right, y'all get your drinks up. If you don't have a drink, come on, we gotta patronize this awesome organization that gave us an opportunity to be here. Look, with no overhead. Cheers to that. Yes, if you don't have a drink, get one. you have a drink, even if, you know.
Come on, Angel. Damn. Hello, everyone. While we're having people get their drinks ready, we're going to go ahead and toast. Here's to health, generational wealth, and the peace and harmony. Here we go, kings and queens. Toast it up. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into the conversation. So, just in case you a little distracted, we're talking about gender roles in relationships. Now, a month ago, we did from a woman's perspective, and of course, if you didn't check it out, make sure you check it out on our social media. Conversations and Cocktails with the Crew. He got real hot and spicy. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my friends when we thought we just knew everything. But, it was some good notes that we took from it. And, of course, we couldn't do it. And if you had, it's a man's world. And it ain't nothing without what? Oh, let's try it again. It's a man's world, but... There you go. That part. So we couldn't do one part without doing the other. So we wanted to bring these amazing brothers to come in and give their perspective on the spin on what we did. So we talked about a few things. We talked about household finances. We talked about religion, dating. Now we're gonna save the dating, sex, and intimacy for the end. That's the yeah. Look, we all could, let me speak for myself, but let's kick it off. We're looking at households and finances, so we would love to, and audience, you're out here, we want your feedback too, so don't be scared. I see you, brother. I see you turn around. You checked in?
Finally.
Yeah.
Tell your friend.
Tell your friend right there. Tell him.
Let's go.
Can I get a chicken wing? Look, we want the energy, just good vibes. We good vibes, good energy. We like to have fun. So let's get into the conversation. Let's get into it. So household and finances. Now, I'm just gonna be a little transparent. Just putting it out there. Being a single woman for quite some time. And I know our last podcast we talked about the comment that Cam Newton talked about the boss chicks, being a boss bitch, and not knowing her role and not knowing when to be quiet. Now, when I watched it, that's how I was looking at it, like, what the hell? Okay. But I had to get the history, I had to get the background, I had to get the story and really understand where he was coming from. So in every household, there's different dynamics. The way you grow up, your religion, all of that plays a part in that. So I had to kind of do some self-reflection and look at myself like, okay, in a household, what does that look like for me? Because I'm looking forward to having that king so I can, I'm claiming that, putting it in the atmosphere. And it don't take that long. We'll talk about that later. Brothers, it don't take that long to marry you. But they're not in their room. Don't take that long. Sister Ty. However, households, we want to hear your perspective when you're talking about finances. Is it, say you and your significant other, your wife, whomever living together, is it 50-50 or what's the role the man should have? Now who wanna go first? Who?
Well, when I first got out of my undergrad, I used to be a financial advisor. So all I did was talk in front of people, individuals, families about finances all day. And it's interesting how finances is really actually at the top of intimacy topics, right? We can talk about our sex history before we can talk about our finances, right? Our FICA score and stuff. We can talk about effing, but not FICA, right? So it's kind of crazy about it. We can talk about FICA another time, but effing right now, right? So the point that I'm making is that at the end of the day, we gotta first at least be in alignment about what's most important and then dive in from there. So when it comes down to the finances, it's not even about 50-50. It should be 50-50 in terms of the conversation. Now, in terms of the actual contribution of money, that's a different topic. But contribution in terms of the conversation, right? Con, C-O-N, that's Spanish for with. We need to have verses with each other about it, as opposed to waiting, so I'm gonna see what he says. All right, if he says 50-50, then pause. Why are we walking into these traps in the first place? Stop playing these games. Be transparent. What's your contribution to the topic, period, right? What's important to you, and then, of course, what does that actually mean? So when it comes down to finances, we have to ask other questions, like you mentioned before, in terms of what does what does your background look like? What does success look like to you? What do you want to actually accomplish in the next several years or so? What is that going to look like? What are you willing to contribute, but also more importantly, sacrifice? Because what you can sacrifice and what I can sacrifice can be two different things. I may come with all the money, but it's you that's going to have to hold it down at the house. So, but at the end of the day, in terms of how many houses I have now, we get into greater detail, maybe what you're sacrificing is more. Pay attention.
Well, I guess with me, when it comes to finances in the household, a lot of times, you know, when you get into these relationships and you build with that woman, and let's say you go into that household and you guys decide to buy a house together, okay? So that was something that you guys had to do together. It's not something that was done separately, okay? You look at it, then that man has a car. He has a car note. He has the insurance. That woman has a car note and insurance. So a lot of times you meet a lot of women these days that think the man should pay all the bills in the house and he should do this, he should do that. See, in the older days, you know, men made the money. The women stayed home and they took care of the house. So the man was the breadwinner. But nowadays, when things have, you know, the price of things have skyrocketed, so everything is mostly expensive. But I look at it like this: if that man is taking care of everything in that household, what does the woman spend her money on? What does she spend her money on? If that man has to pay the bills, the light bill, the water bill, what?
I hear some feedback in the audience. Did I hear children? Is that the children? The household?
I'm gonna piggyback off what he said.
Look, you don't want to piggyback, you don't jump?
I'm gonna piggy. I think for me, my perspective, I think when we come into a relationship and we do buy a house together, I think when we do get to that point, what we buy together, we pay together. What we buy together, we pay together. So when we come together, when we once build that foundation and we come together in that household, whatever we purchase together, we pay together. So whatever you had coming in, you was responsible for what you coming in. I shouldn't have to take over something that you have responsibility for before you came to me. Why should I come in and pay your car note when you've been paying your car note? No, it's okay. So you tell me, you say, as a man, so you're gonna stop paying your bills, and as a man, so tell me, you have to tell me, what are you bringing to the table? What table? What sits on that table? Exactly. Yeah, I didn't speak of that. Say for instance, I meet someone and we start dating, and then, you know, as we start dating, down the line when we do come together, that's when things change though, because you come together and you're building it together though.
So my understanding, when you first get married, you become one. Therefore, your income becomes one. Your money going to the account, my money going to the account. And there from there, we split off and say, okay, after the bills, some money's going to savings, we should have a savings. Therefore, it should never be those type of things where somebody is paying a bill here and somebody's not paying a bill there. Because we're in this together. But what is misconstrued is the fact that when you add your friends into the relationship, and now what they got is something you want. And we're not realistic in the fact that, okay, they may be doing better than me. So we can't try and live off of them, not live off ourselves.
I think ultimately what we're talking about is being smart about what you do have, right? I think that's what we're talking about. Just be smart with what you have. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to continue to grow over a period of time, then you grow together. You grow with understanding. You grow with communication. But start off with where you are. It says spend out of what God has provided for you. So if that's what you have starting off and you have ambition to have more, then have more together. But here's where it gets tricky. You start wanting more individually and then you don't communicate that to the other person, and that's when shit get fucked up. You dig? So what you have to do is, if you want that car because your friends may have it, or you want that house because your friends may have it, or you want that new furniture set because it looks good on the showroom floor, then communicate that to your man and let's work out this together, instead of taking the money out the damn account and saying, baby, where the money? Oh, I bought that set we saw together, but we didn't talk about it. So be smart about what you have, and if you want to grow together, but have the communication about what you want to do, because once you start growing as individuals, that's when it gets faded. That's when it gets faded.
I just wanna get an understanding what women mean when everything's supposed to stop and a man's supposed to take over everything. I want to know what that means, though. Why should that happen? I want somebody to chime in and tell me, why should that happen?
I'm just coming with 22 years of experience. You know, being with, tell them redhead, being with somebody, starting at 14, and then of course picking up dating again at 21. I love what you said, especially a lot of people who have already chimed in. But we struggled together. We were sleeping on the floor together. We had nothing together. So this king that I have, I was there and talking, you know, life into him, telling him he is the king of all kings. You know what I mean? Not just that we praise God, but, you know, God and then him. I'm speaking truth and light into him. You know, I know what it is to be a black woman, but I do not know what it is to be a black man in society, and how you're looked at, and how you have to prove yourself 5 times, 10 times more than the next person on the same job with less experience, okay? So, going into the finances, I was a person, I'm master degree, I went, you know, was assistant principal, whatever, but at some point I wanted to try something different. I am basically like, oh, fly, butterfly, you know, I'm that person. And my husband has to keep me focused, right? But he's a person that believes in me and believes in my dreams. And right now, he provides the lifestyle that we live. I'm just gonna be honest. And he's never made it seem like I'm a freeloader or I'm a gold digger. Like, he wants to provide these things for me and give me things. And it's not just things. And I don't, like when you talked about this car, I'm not a person, I don't care to have the brand new car. I don't care to have the biggest house. I don't care, I'm always gonna be in the baddest clothes now. I'm gonna be in the baddest clothes now. And the baddest brim. I'm gonna come with that. But I just say that to say, I don't put any stress on him with materialistic things. You know, we are a team. Let me say that again, we are a team. Going back to the conversations, you know, talking about what it is that we are going to do together. I don't make a purchase without first talking to him and vice versa. Our finances that the gentleman spoke about, everything is together. Right, we have nothing that's separate. There is no, oh, I got this secret bank account. There's none of that. I'm fully exposed and we disclose everything. So it does take time to get to that. I'm not saying when you first get with someone, you just, you know, start off. It comes with, again, conversation in the beginning. Not these surprises later on with all these things you want to acquire. Because when it comes down to it, it's just you and him and that raw love that you have for each other. That's really what's the most important.
Let me just jump in real quick on that. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, I think ultimately when you start talking about shared vision, you have to take a step before that. You know, what's your shared belief system? And from your belief system, then you can get to your vision. And then from your vision then, right, you can get into some kind of consensus around priority, right? And from that standpoint now, you have some clarity. We don't have that. We're already talking about 50-50. Stop. You're going too fast. Because I want this, because I pause again. That's the reason why you're failing. Like the brother said, we're one. So our vision needs to be one. Our priorities need to be one. And the minute, just like you just now mentioned, The minute you go off to the side and you're no longer conversing, congratulations, you're already losing. More than finances. More than finances. So this whole 50-50 thing is, I'm okay if I pay all the bills in a certain space. That's fine. What are you doing with yours as it's in alignment with our vision? So you want to get caught up on the mortgage? Okay, I got the mortgage, no problem. Utilities? Okay, I got that. So are you the one that's putting the money into the cap fund, into this other thing? What are you doing? How's that looking? And I want monthly reports on how it's progressing. No problem. You got this, right? Does that make sense? You heard that? See, that's the model right there.
I also think that we've kind of got a loss, with the way that we think as a society, with the way women think and the way men think. We go into these relationships again, as you said, 50-50, or go into relationships saying that the man is going to pay all the bills. The first thing is the line of communication. When you got the communication, I don't think you really have anything in a relationship. I take me and my fiance. We did things our way. We don't worry about how it may look. We had a child. We went and bought a house. We sold that house. Then we went and bought a bigger house. So, and everything was built on communication, and everything we do is one. Everything we do is one. Whatever I have is hers. It's just like that. And so I think it's the type of relationship that you have and the way you communicate with that young lady or that young man, and that's how you build. What I'm saying? Always have an open line of communication. Don't keep anything secret. Always talk. Have an open line of communication.
Yeah, another thing, I think it's kind of ironic that we're talking about gender roles, and the first question from the ladies was about finances. So I wonder where that came from. Anyway, we're not warm yet. We're still getting warm. But what I did want to say, I do want to point out this though. You start paying all the bills in the house, there's a certain level of arrogance that comes along with that before you catch yourself, right? You got all the money, you're making all the moves, you're going out and getting the money and you're bringing it back every day. Before you catch yourself, you will find yourself in an arrogant place, like looking at you like, what you just said? Go with me now, because there's a certain level of this mind that comes into the picture when you start paying everything. So when we're talking about communication, it has to be that love that has to be the foundation for those finances too, because that will come into the picture. You'll be like, nigga, what you say to me? Or sister, what did you say to me? So in order to prevent that, it has to be some clarity in how we love each other before we start loving on that money, because that money is evil. It's evil, and it'll creep into your relationship before you even know it. So you have to be very careful, like my brother said about that communication. It's very important, and you have to know yourself. You have to be confident in who you are in that space, because if you're not, you're going to take on two different roles, either the giver or the receiver. One of the two.
Is it okay, guys, for that woman to make more money than that man?
Honestly, Phil, yeah, it's okay. How much I make don't define the man that I am. It doesn't define my values. It doesn't prevent me from protecting or providing for my family. But what I will say in terms of taking accountability, no matter how much I make, if it's not enough at the end of the day, there's two reasons. Either I'm horrible with money management, or I haven't made this much consistently. Again, it's okay for my woman to be the breadwinner as long as that communication is there. I'm never emasculated based off the amount I put in my pocket or bring home. At the end of the day, money doesn't define me as this king that I am, as this leader that I am, as this father, a supporter, a protector. So if we remove our money, remove it, what else do you need? Watch how long that list remains.
And I think too though, when it comes to if the woman's making more than the man, I think if she's making $60,000 and I'm making $40,000, that's still $100,000 in the household regardless at the end of the day. It's not no one-way thing when it comes to, because she makes most of the money. That's $100,000 in the household. Period. Because we are a household. we're not a separate household, we're one household.